here to remind any students that visited Cancun over Reading Week, that's not how real life works.
Hello, world.
Should we have chosen a less questionable logo?
Play ball!
Okay, everybody get intense again.
Let's play ball!
Let's and we just smash heads with each other and woo! And like a little bit. Excitement. Like,
there is nothing better on a cold day than your warm bed.
People are tired of recruiting against Guelph, given all their new toys, some of them being uniforms, some of them being facilities. And they're saying this is a way that we can knock down our competitor, which is what recruiting is about. I love what the OUA is doing because they're having a conversation.
And we tried and we got through, and I hope that we entertained everyone who was watching on OUA TV.
Play ball!
People think that you're just smashing them for who they are. No, you're smashing the idea of trying to create a better OUA.
Now for more OUA Today.
Hi everyone.
Hello, Marshall.
Hi, Marshall.
My name's Marshall, and I'm a recovering sports fan. Welcome inside OUA Today. I'm here to remind you that jeans are the worst thing ever. I'm joined alongside, to my right, by Amanda Weldon, and to my right by Scott Hasty. Scott's not on vacation. He's not sitting in his living room. He's not exhausted anymore.
But he has a nice
I'm not
tan.
literally on vacation.
He's just
physically.
Here. Yeah, you're on
mentally.
You're on Trade Center vacation today, aren't you?
I cannot wait to sit in self-loathing and watch that.
And
program.
watch nothing happen for 10 hours of live television. We'll get to that in a little bit. Sorry about off the top there. I turned Amanda's microphone on and then just decided. I turned it up and then decided not to turn it on. So that might have not been the smoothest introduction. I apologize, Amanda.
That's okay, I got some practice.
You're used to it with me by now anyways. OUA Today is brought to you by the home of the original Buffalo Wing. I'm sure Anchor Bar is excited to be a part of this. Hump Day Wednesday, Anchor Bar located in downtown Hamilton at Jackson Square. How to listen, go to tunein.com, search CFMU 93.3, or just go to Twitter. We already linked it up. How to reach out, at OUA Today on Twitter, at Marsh2Fergs, at Weldon Amanda, at Scott1Hasty. If that was too fast for you, go to our new website.
Website.
OUAtoday.wordpress.com. We don't have enough money to get rid of the WordPress at the end of the domain name, so...
It's like $18, so that says a lot about this program.
I couldn't even find the option online to try and do it. That tells you how well I navigate the webs. But yeah, we'll get rid of that, and we will... there's going to be some blogs there. I put up one that I'm releasing today that's called Unicorns and Uniforms, the Recruiting Fallacy. It's all about how uniforms do not make a difference. We've been socialized to believe that in recruiting, uniforms mean a whole lot more than they do, and I don't believe they do. So I have an article up on that. If you'd like to read about it, we'll send out the link from our Twitter at OUA Today. Coming up over the next 54 minutes. How do we always hit 54 minutes? Do we always take 6 minutes to try and get on air and then do an intro?
We have...
Pretty consistent.
I literally have nothing to say. We just let you take it off the top.
That's pretty much just my fault for rambling for 6 minutes off the top. Coming up over the next hour, we will converse about Quest
for
the
Cup.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Yes, playoffs, Jim Moore. I get over it. CIS wrestlers.
Marsha will try not to make any references to Foxcatcher.
It's going to be tough. Really enjoyed that movie. Steve Carell was great. It was a lot of character development, but
see, we're trying here, March. we're already past our quota.
Men's. Where are we here? CIS volleyball.
OUA Women's Hoops is wrapping up.
Men's Hoops with Windsor head coach Chris Oliver.
Who was a dear friend. Can't wait to speak to Chris.
Oh.
Yeah, he's one of the nicest humans I've ever met off the court. And on the court, if you don't know him, you probably think he's the meanest human you've ever seen aside from Dave Smart. So, just a thought out there. But we'll talk to Chris about everything hoops. Mystery tunnels full of llamas and dresses. Oh, the internet sucks anymore, but...
And some rowing, curling, track and field. Sorry, I thought you were going to keep going there.
Oh, man, we are smooth on a Monday morning.
Maybe we shouldn't do this
Welcome
on Monday mornings.
Maybe we shouldn't try and alternate what we're saying. This is our first go-around trying to alternate. And apparently I don't know how to read an order. All of that, plus, if you call in the next 10 minutes, we will double your order absolutely free. It is the
free.
It is the CFMU fundraiser, which Scott, I know, just pumped the hell out of.
I forgot.
On Saturday afternoon. No, you didn't. On Saturday afternoon at the basketball games that were happening here at McMaster. Playoff basketball. Bulls basketball being played inside the Birds Gymnasium didn't go especially well for the McMaster teams. We'll get into that in just a second. But the CFMU,
Don't laugh, Scott.
yeah, Scott's
Stop
a little
laughing.
depressed about it right now. But the CFMU fundraiser that is going on, community radio, very important to us. It allows us to air a great show like this, reach out to you, get involved in the OUA community. I don't think you could get a show like this on a major sports network anytime soon based on the interest in OUA sport from the large multimedia giants in Toronto and area. So without community radio stations like this, we're not able to have shows that bring you the OUA's news and interest you and try and keep everyone updated and keep media and publicity for OUA athletics alive. So give us a shout. You can check CFMU 93.3. It's actually cfmu.msumcmaster.ca. If you would like to donate at all, just mention that it came from me, because I don't have any donors yet, and I haven't begged my grandpa yet. So that'd be great if you guys could just drop it under our name, or maybe just put it under Scott Hasty and it'll go to his vacation fund.
Yeah,
could do that
slush
too.
Fund.
We know
Perfect.
that guy needs another offshore bank account, so why not give it to him? That would be great if you could reach out though. And also, Queens has CFRC, Guelph CFRU. There's many more university radio stations that do a lot of great work in and around Ontario promoting the OUA. Let's get into the starting five, shall we, gang?
We shall.
It is about that time to get involved with the starting five. If I ever find the music, you guys can just start, and I'll find the music while we're doing it.
First, we're talking about wrestling. Huge
Wrestling.
weekend for wrestling. Wrestling!
I always write wrestling. I don't know why.
Huge weekend for Brock Wrestling. Both the men and women taking home the CIS title. Scott, correct me if I'm wrong. This was, they set another record for consecutive CIS titles?
I believe so. I saw that going through Twitter
Yeah.
yesterday. They own this.
They won
unreal.
They won 11 of the last 16. I'll get into that in just a second for the men, but in the meantime, the women, they had 4 champions alone from Brock in different weight divisions. There's only, I believe, 9 weight divisions, I want to say.
The spread of points was ridiculous from first to even second
Yeah.
for Brock.
So in the 48 kilogram division, Jade Parsons from Brock, 55 kilogram, Carleen Slabursky, 59 kilogram, Indira Morris, from Brock as well, 63 kilogram, Jessica Bruyette, and then Guelph also had a champion in the 67 kilogram category. Brock finished with a total score of 54 points. Next closest was Guelph with 33 and Western with 23. And Guelph came 4th overall at CIS's and Western came 5th overall. But Brock did win, like you're saying, Amanda, a huge split. 5 of the 8 women's weight division champions at the CIS championships were from the OUA. So nice to see some representation there as well. Rookie of the Year, Emily Shafter in the 51 kilogram division, again from Brock. Coach of the Year, Marty Calder. He won it for men's and women's. Obviously, when your team wins championships, you're the guy. Not a whole lot of discretion.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's like,
oh, you blew out the competition? Yes, you're the
guys,
coach of
should
the
we
year.
vote on this? No, we're good.
Yeah, Marty, you're good, buddy.
All right. So, and female student athlete community service award, Yurshian Khalid, 63 kilogram division from
Go
York.
girl.
And both of the community service award winners as well should be mentioned from York. So they didn't necessarily challenge.
Did they build
at
the tunnel?
podium.
I was going to say, maybe they were hiding their community service in the tunnel.
They're filling their community hours like in high school when you have to get your 40 hours. It's like the community service award for men's and women's wrestling goes to the tunnel diggers.
Free vaccinations in the tunnel.
Oh no. Well, man, can we just get the tunnel out of the way? I was gonna wait. Just tell us what happened with the tunnel.
So it
way
was
to
just
derail the
before-
show, because
just
I'm an
before.
idiot and I'm gonna
Yeah.
get derailed by this. But
Okay,
go.
but just before we went on air, they had announced that they ID'd 2
It was
men
this
in
morning?
their 20s. Yeah.
Oh my God.
2 men in their 20s were the people who had built the tunnel, and they cited personal reasons
Personal reasons.
for the construction of this tunnel, which makes me think it's a love tunnel.
And the police were
Whoa.
totally fine with it. They were just like, oh, personal reasons? No worries.
Yeah,
I've got
there
my
was-
own personal
It
reasons.
was like, well, it's not criminal, so I mean, I guess you can build a tunnel wherever you want, but
And York University
That's
is
true.
claiming to have absolutely no connection to this at all.
Guys, no, we don't have anything. I understand it was nearby the Rexall Center, but I'm surprised the CIS bros didn't make a joke if it was a love tunnel about Eugenie Bouchard being close by.
Yeah.
What?
Ooh.
We'll get to them in a bit. That was terrible too.
that was great.
The men in the wrestling, now that we have the tunnel out of the way, I'm sure we'll circle back.
No llamas and dresses.
No llamas. I still don't even understand what those were, but that's okay. 57 kilograms, Stephen Takahashi from Western, 61 kilogram division, Michael Asselstein from Alberta, and number 2, Jason Buckle He lost his CIS championship matchup. He was the OUA Men's Wrestler of the Year. Maybe he was cursed. We're not sure. We'll figure out in just a couple of minutes time here. Yeah, we didn't really let you in on what's going on in the next couple of minutes. We forgot about that. We're going to explore the possibility of a McMaster Sports curse brought on by one of the three of us in the studio. Might be me. Might be me. Might be you, because we didn't tell you about it.
Might be your boy.
Might be the guy that you only ever see might be the guy you only ever see the back of his head in the video
now, because if a McMaster fan sees me, I don't know.
You're dead
I might
to
be
all
the
of us.
end, right?
Yeah, that's true. 65 kilograms in the men's division. Nick Rowe of Brock. 68 kilograms. Chris Garneau of McMaster. So McMaster gets a champion, as well as 72 kilograms. Ahmed Samira from McMaster. 100 kilograms. Andrei Vorontsov from Brock. So another Brock champion there. Brock men take it 66 points. McMaster coming in second at the CIS Men's Wrestling Championships. Male, again, Community Service Award goes to Ali Coca for digging a tunnel at the 120 kilogram weight division. Brock Badgers are the first school in CIS wrestling history to sweep the men's and women's national championship team banners in consecutive years. And the Badgers clinched both the men's and women's titles before Saturday's gold medal matches. And that's insane. They finished with a combined 14 medals, including 6 gold. We listed 4 of them coming from the women's division. With the win, Brock women tied a CIS record of 4 straight banners previously set by the Simon Fraser clan, and with 5 titles overall, moved into a tie for second place with Calgary, one behind Simon Fraser. Now the men. Brock University Badgers became the first school in Canadian inter-university sport history to sweep the men's and women's national championship team banners in consecutive years. Men's team claiming their 15th CIS banner. And the women's team, like we said, they tied the CIS record of 4 straight banners. The Badger men extended their own national record by claiming their 15th banner. They have won 11 of the last 16 CIS wrestling championships. I looked at some of the other greatest dynasties in OUA athletics that we have in CIS athletics. Carleton Ravens men's basketball have won 10 of the last 12 national championships. That's ridiculous. We all know about that. Mm-hmm. But just to put it in perspective, 11 of the last 16 versus 10 of the last 12 for Carleton men's basketball. And Laval in football have won 8 Vanier Cups since 1996. Again, very impressive. They started up from the dust, but when you put it in perspective with men's wrestling at Brock, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. 15.
I have never won 15 of anything.
That's more banners than like some schools would have provincial wins.
Like, how many times have they even
And that's a CIS banner. That's what I think some people are forgetting is it's not like, congratulations, you won the Brock Invitational Tournament for the 97th consecutive year. Yeah. No, you won your 15th CIS banner.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Marty, getting coach of the year.
Marty.
What do you think Marty's walls look like?
Just banners.
Plaster? They probably, here we go.
He probably has a quilted band, like
when you take your camp t-shirts, you just cut them up.
Yeah, he just has that quilted with banners.
I think they shot Foxcatcher inside Marty's den.
See, right over my head. I haven't seen that.
Come on.
It's for the viewers, though.
That's 2, Marshall.
Damn it. That's for the viewers. If you got the reference, let us know at OUA Today so I don't feel lonely because I'm feeling kind of lonely inside the studio. Laurier Curling. Another team that went off over last week. They actually had their championships the day that we had this show, but we were unable to actually talk about it because it hadn't happened yet. Mm-hmm. They swept the OUA Curling Championships. Men's Curling, Laurier defeated Western 5-3. First men's championship since 2007-2008, which is the last time that both the men and women swept the titles. Women's curling, Laurier defeated Brock 5-3, second consecutive banner, 7th in program history, and Laurier will now host the 2015 CIS Championships in March 18th to 21st. Long layoff there between the OUAs and the CIS Championship. I don't know how exerting curling is. I know it's very difficult, but do you need a month?
After looking on this, I feel like the OUA should just like split up schools. Like, okay, you want to curl, you're going to Laurier. You want to play hockey, you're going to Guelph. You want to play volleyball, you're going to Mac. Like, we should just like all come together as one here.
Specialize?
Yeah. Why not?
Because then we create dynasties
wrestle?
and nobody
Brock.
would ever win.
Well, we would just.
Well, that's what makes the fight so much fun, Amanda.
That's why people
Please
tune
flex
in.
for us again, Marshall.
Exactly. That's why Lakehead made the trip down to McMaster on Saturday and hit 9 threes in the first half of a women's basketball game and scored 53 points in the first half, which just left Scott and I standing at halftime looking at each other going, what is going on?
And what have we done?
I saw Scott after the game and I was like, hey Scott, how's your vacation? He's like, it's going to be a good weekend to write about Max Sports.
Is he an old-timey news reporter?
Yeah. I was actually wearing a fedora.
Hey, Scott, what's going to be like over the weekend? Are they going to be the games?
He had a little pad of paper. It was great.
That's awesome. OUA Curling All-Star Teams. Men. First team, the Skip. Chris Lupin from Lakehead. Vice, Richard Krell from Laurier. Second, Spencer Nuttall from Laurier. Lead, Jamie Waters from Brock. Women, the first team, Skip Melanie Ty of Waterloo. Vice, Justin Murphy from Guelph. Second, Shiri Hines from Lakehead, and the lead, Heather Crindland from Guelph. So congratulations to the Laurier Curlers. Wish them all the best at CIS Championships. Another OUA Championship going on. Man, it's a long starting 5 this morning, but there's a good reason for it. It's because it is...
Everything's winding down.
Banner season,
There's
buddy.
just a ton
Yeah.
going on right now, and I probably should just not read as many individual people's names, but they work hard all year, so it's kind of hard not
Yeah.
to want to give them the credit where it's due. So, track and field. For the women, Western Mustangs Caroline Earhart won her second gold of the meet and broke the OUA record of the women's triple jump with a leap of 13 meters. That's ridiculous. York's Brittany Crew broke the women's weight throw OUA record with a throw of 18.69 meters. I don't know what they throw. I used to think it was shot put and discus. Am I that detached from the world of track and field? It's called weight throw? That's what it was known as in the...
Oh, well above my pay grade, buddy.
Yeah.
This stuff is...
Crickets in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But on a side note, if I was Caroline, that's how I would go to class. Like, you would get to class so quick, just triple jumping and go away.
That is so true. Women's standings, they finished, University of Toronto took the women's title, 180 points. Guelph second at 129 and Western at 125. So Toronto, I think it's fair to say in the women's division, dominated.
Yeah.
Men's, 2 seasons ago, Guelph ended the Windsor Lancers streak of 14 consecutive OUA track and field championships. And after relinquishing the throne last year, they're now back atop the podium. Varsity Blues dominated as well. Men's 4x4 team topping the OUA record with a time of 3 minutes 17 seconds. Meet records continued to come down later in the day as the Lancers' Corey Bellamore broke the OUA record in the men's 600 meter with a time of 1 minute 18 seconds. I did the math on that. It's just under 20 seconds for every 100 meters for 600 meters. You know how fast that guy could get to class?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, I'm pretty sure when I lived on Dromore just up the street here, I was probably 600 meters from here. If I could get to class in 1 minute 18 seconds, I don't know I'd ever go.
Still, again.
Such an unfair advantage to be able to get to class in that short amount of time. You wake up at 8:27, throw on a pair of pants, and get to class in a minute 18? That's amazing.
I feel like people who win that award should honestly get, like, a Flash t-shirt.
Yeah,
Like the
they
Flash.
need to brand it better. Just like
Yeah.
you get cool stuff. Related,
Like-
like a medal's cool, I guess, but also just like a t-shirt you could wear that would just look funny.
Yeah.
That'd be hype.
Men's standing ended up again, we said, with Guelph winning the championship. York came in second and Windsor third. In addition to the hardware won at the OUA championships, the top 2 finishers from each event, as well as all student athletes who surpassed the automatic standards, have qualified for the CIS championships. That is taking place March 12th to 14th at the University of Windsor. So look forward to that. CIS women's volleyball championships. U of T lost in the bronze medal match in 5 sets to Montreal. It's okay, U of T. I've lost to Montreal before too. You get over it eventually. The Ottawa UGGs finished 5th in the CIS after a straight sets win over UBC. So not a bad weekend, I believe, Amanda, for CIS women's volleyball. Yeah.
Honestly, looking at this as a whole, like following CIS volleyball for a couple of years, this is a really great representation by the OUA.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like, Can West usually sweeps it. I mean, you've also got the Quebec teams that are just absolutely dominating because their age and their strength, but I think U of T did great. I think we're going to see a lot from Snyder, like, in the coming years. Christine Drakic was CIS Coach of the Year. I mean, we are building programs, and I'm really impressed with how these girls played and how they represented the OUA.
I think
this
U
weekend.
of T will walk away disappointed.
Based on their regular season,
Just
but
to be
Based on
able
the regular
to get
season
that.
and hosting, they'll
Yeah.
walk away disappointed.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
taking the long view of the conference health, which is what you kind of want to do at national season, take the temperature of where you stand, especially in volleyball that has been dominated by Can West. However, speaking of Can West, that final yesterday, the women's final was very good.
Yeah.
Went 5 sets and Trinity Western pulled it off after being down
Where-
2.
where-
That's how it should be.
Where's Trinity Western?
BC?
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember. I remember. Yeah, but it is BC.
Okay. Yeah, because I was unknowledgeable about them because, again, I lived in a tiny little football bubble for 5 years and
Yeah.
didn't really know outside of that. But a successful weekend at CIS Women's Volleyball Championships. Men's volleyball as well. OUA teams competing there. Waterloo and York both fell in the opening round. Then they rebounded to have a fairly successful weekend. McMaster, led by CIS and OUA Coach of the Year Dave Preston, beat the University of Saskatchewan at home on Friday evening. Then McMaster fell to Trinity Western. Again, there's that program. In the CIS semi, Trinity went on to win CIS gold. In the post-game interview, Dave Preston of McMaster said he described the student athletes as being extremely invested. Serving and passing was on point. where the rest unraveled, described the McMaster team as being not as fundamentally sound as they wanted to be in that match. So a bit of a tough weekend for them, being the number 1 overall seed of the CIS tournament, but they did rebound to win CIS silver for the 2nd consecutive year.
That was Alberta that won CIS gold on the men's side.
Bronze, sorry.
Alberta won CIS gold on the men's side, and they both Alberta and Trinity Western played in men's and women's, but they split them.
Yeah.
Amanda, I think, might be able to provide a bit more. I did watch all of McMaster's games.
Same, I did too.
I thought they got a really tough bracket. Really tough. I mean, you gotta look at those seeds and you gotta raise your eyebrows a bit in that the number 2 seed fell.
Yeah, and down, right?
And why was Laval seeded what they were when it was widely an accepted view that it was a down year for RSEC and Laval, and then they got swept. So a little curious, and then putting the number 1 seed against an 8 seed from the toughest division that's hosting. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just trying to say we got to take a longer view and think about what are we doing to set up teams and create a good product.
And the actual seeding changed this year with the help of Dave Preston, which is worth mentioning. They came up with that new system to calculate
VRS,
VRS, where you should be slotted in terms of not always playing the same people from your conference once you get into the CIS championship.
It's tough. It's not easy.
Yeah, and I think what I learned from the OUA football schedule coming out is they create about 20-25 drafts of that. No matter what you do, someone's son happy.
Seeding not likely, but
but no matter seeding or scheduling, when you look at it objectively, every single person's going to have one issue, right?
Yeah.
There's no perfect schedule, so someone has to bite the bullet somewhere, and every team gets an up or down. That's why we have
at the
strength
end of the day,
schedule.
you have to beat everyone to be first. Like, ideally,
that's like
what should be your mindset.
When people talk about, again, it's the exact same thing. When you talk about having to go through the playoffs, people would always ask me in the football playoffs, like, you have to play against a tough Guelph defense. I'm like, it's the Yates Cup. If they weren't tough, they wouldn't be here. Like, that's the whole point. That's what sports is about, is playing the best and beating them.
Yeah, you don't want to play York in the Yates final either.
Hey, shout out York. They got 5 recruits out of Alberta.
That's true.
That's a big deal for them.
Yeah.
We'll hit them up.
Yeah, I think there were some good games from the OUA. Like, they had some tough draws, but York was really fun to watch.
Yeah, I would say offensively, they were pretty strong on the other side of the OUA. Like, I think McMaster could have shown a little bit more. I mean, the coach of their opposing team, who was it, Dahazi, he was saying how, like, they literally had to be perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe Trinity Western said that too. He's like, we had to be perfect today, and we pretty much were. Like, the post-game interview with him was just
I'm the greatest of all time.
He was actually just kind of like smiling, like, I won, like, I just lucked out. And, like, I think he doesn't give his team enough credit.
He described it as luck, which if I was like on the other side, I would be like, I see this as a game of chess, not luck. So it's kind of like,
we got to move on to women's basketball here. We can do an hour-long CIS men's volleyball recap podcast. If you would like us to do it, let us know on Twitter or just pay us. That'd be fine too. Women's basketball, Windsor wins 64-49 and will host the Final Four. Carissa Williams with 20 points and 9 rebounds. Ryerson over Ottawa 73-47. Kenica Pingelis with 20 points, 14 rebounds in 30 minutes of action. So she booked a lot of time there. Queens defeats Laurier, which a game I was watching as I was calling the start of the men's game between Windsor and McMaster in double overtime, 85-78. The Kingston connection, Liz Bogan, Jenny Wright, combined for 36 points, 15 rebounds, and also combined for 86 minutes played through a game because the game went to double overtime. If you're not familiar, a regular OUA game is 40 minutes long, so they both averaged well over playing a full game. So
it's crazy because they played the Wednesday game and they had to come from Kingston.
Yeah.
I'm gutted for Laurier though. I really liked watching that team.
Yeah, Whitney Eleanor had 21 points and she was a good player for them. We talked with Shelby Blackley, which shout out happy birthday 22nd to our girl Shelby Blackley.
I don't know about you. Feeling 22.
But Laurier a little bit gutted on that. And then the game that we saw, Scott and I, Lakehead comes down here and smashes Mac 82-49. 53 first half points for Lakehead.
53-16 at half.
Yeah, 53-16. So that might be the part that I left out that I shouldn't have. The Splash Sisters, which the Lakehead Thunderwolves Twitter account branded for me, of Eula Kovic, Bruni, and Bridget O'Reilly combined to make 11 threes, including hit of 9 of 12 in the first half.
They shot 27 on the year, and Ulakovic had made 33 threes all season and made 5 in the first half.
And to be fair, she was 5 of 7 in the first half and then ended up like 6 of 11 or something. But in the first half, it was unbelievable. It was the best offensive output you or I have ever seen in a women's basketball game the first half. I said they couldn't even match Sue Bird and Lauren of the old Seattle Storm.
I was saying, I tried to put it in context for some other people who came in for the men's game, and I was like, 53 points at the pace a women's game is played is like putting up 80 in the men's. Like it
felt like 80, didn't it?
How was it watching Jaleesa like live?
She wasn't even. No, she wasn't even killing them. That's what was.
But she got like the most points.
She's so special that she is able to not. It's just like Kobe. It's like LeBron in his prime. Like the players that seem like they're doing nothing are actually doing everything.
Well, because it's just layups, right? You're like, oh, she got a steal. There's a layup. Like she averages 4 steals a game, but she had like just picking pockets. So sometimes it wasn't like crazy,
awesome to watch.
And then other times it like she had her flashy moments. But she had 4 points at half.
She's probably like, Bruni, you take this one.
She was really, really fun to watch. But that is your starting 5. We went long, but who cares, right?
It was a lot of
stuff.
It's championship season.
Good content.
A lot of stuff going on there.